Egypt condemns Israel's attacks on Syrian territories. Egypt welcomes Lebanese parliament's approval of government decision, sees it as a step towards restoring Lebanon's security and stability. And the Egyptian government unveils 200 billion Egyptian pounds social support package for citizens. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Qnews, bringing you the latest updates from Egypt. Egypt has strongly condemned Israel's recent attacks on Syrian territories, calling them a deliberate escalation and a clear violation of international law and the UN Charter. In a statement, Egypt's Foreign Ministry said these actions exacerbate tensions and undermine Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The ministry urged international bodies and the UN Security Council to hold Israel accountable and put an end to such violations. Egypt also emphasized the need for Israel's withdrawal from Syrian lands in accordance with the 1974 disengagement agreement. Egypt has welcomed the Lebanese parliament's approval of the government's decision, calling it a significant step towards restoring Lebanon's security, stability, sovereignty, and unity. In a statement, Egypt's Foreign Ministry expressed full solidarity with Lebanon, pledging continued support to its government and institutions rooted in the long-standing historical relations. Egypt also reaffirmed its commitment to the implementation of the ceasefire in southern Lebanon, urging for Israel's immediate and complete withdrawal from the area and the full enforcement of the UN Resolution 1701. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has discussed plans for Gaza's reconstruction and emphasized Egypt's rejection of Palestinian displacement. This came during his call with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, where they exchanged views on the situations in Gaza and Syria. Abdulati reviewed preparations for the upcoming Arab Summit in Cairo on March 4th and discussed Egypt's efforts to uphold the Gaza ceasefire. Abdulati reaffirmed Egypt's support for Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. They also discussed bilateral relations and regional developments. Sudanese Foreign Minister Ali Yusuf al-Sharif has praised Egypt's support for the Sudanese leadership and people during their current crisis. In televised statements, the Sudanese Foreign Minister mentioned the existence of a joint committee between Egypt and Sudan to develop the necessary plans for the reconstruction of Sudan. He also noted the interests of Arab and international countries that have expressed their support for the reconstruction process, emphasizing that reconstruction begins with transitional justice, followed by a comprehensive national reconciliation. Lieutenant General Ahmed Khalifa, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces, attended the main phase of the Operational Command Centers project implemented by the Northern Fleet under the leadership of the Navy. Lieutenant General Ahmed Khalifa emphasized that the armed forces, with their advanced combat and technical systems, are capable of safeguarding the nation and protecting its sanctuaries. He also praised the crucial role played by the Navy in protecting the country's coastal borders. Minister of Health and Population Khaled Abdel Ghaffar has held a meeting with the Director of Government Affairs for the Middle East at Abu Hani Hansa and Regional Managing Director for the Aboot in the Middle East and Northeast Africa, Islam Jabir, to discuss enhancing cooperation in the healthcare sector. The meeting focused on strengthening laboratory capabilities by providing advanced diagnostic tools to hospitals and clinics, particularly in the remote and border areas. Discussions also covered expanding nationwide screening campaigns and increasing the availability of medical devices for diabetes and cardiovascular health, alongside training healthcare professionals. Minister of Housing Sharif al-Sharbini has held a meeting to follow up on the progress and execution status of the Housing for All Egyptian initiative, focusing on the low and middle income segments as well as other housing projects in several new cities. At the beginning of the meeting, al-Sharbini highlighted the directives of President Sisi to prepare for the offering of the largest number of housing units being implemented by the Ministry of Housing and the Engineering Authority of the Armed Forces for the low and middle income groups, in order to help meet the demand for home ownership for these segments. The National Institute for Astronomical Research, in coordination with the Dar al-Ifta, is preparing to sight the crescent of the holy month of Ramadan 2025 tomorrow, the day of sighting. The Institute is preparing 7 teams to observe the Ramadan crescent, with teams being sent to locations in Matruh, Fayum, Sohag, Qina, Aswan and El Kharga, in addition to a team located in Hulwan, the Institute's headquarters. Egypt is set to make history with the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, opening on July 3, 2025. Approved by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, this landmark museum will showcase Egypt's rich ancient heritage in an unprecedented way.
Approved by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and announced by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Egypt is set to make history with the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM, on July 3, 2025. A world-class ceremony is planned, with government ministries ensuring seamless logistics at airports, hotels, and roads leading to the venue, ensuring a seamless experience for distinguished guests. Hailed as Egypt's gift to the world, the GEM is set to become the world's largest museum dedicated to a single civilization, ancient Egypt, covering 500,000 square meters and including 12 exhibition halls. It is twice the size of the Louvre in Paris and 2.5 times larger than the British Museum in London. The museum sits just 2 kilometers from the Giza pyramids, offering visitors breathtaking views of Egypt's most iconic landmarks. For the first time since its discovery in 1922, the entire treasure collection of King Tutankhamun will be displayed in one place, making it a historic cultural milestone. Since late 2022, the museum has hosted exclusive events and private group visits, allowing officials to fine-tune the visitor experience before full public access. In recognition of its architectural excellence, UNESCO awarded the GEM the prestigious Prix Versailles in 2024, cementing its status as one of the most beautiful museums in the world. With its grand opening just months away, Egypt is set to introduce the world to a new era of cultural and historical preservation.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, along with his delegation and Mrs. Sashuma, Chargée d'Affaires of the Indian Embassy in Cairo, inaugurated the Flexpit Egypt factory for manufacturing polyester resin in Ain Sokhna. During his tour of the industrial area, the Prime Minister reviewed the project, which covers 125,000 square meters with an investment of $175 million. The factory has an annual production capacity of 580 metric tons and creates 850 direct and indirect job opportunities. Madbouli also highlighted the company's significant investments in Egypt, including both completed and ongoing projects. The Egyptian government has unveiled a 200 billion Egyptian pound social support package to assist citizens facing rising prices. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli announced that the measures include a 15% increase in pensions starting in July, a raise in the minimum wage for the state employees to 7,000 Egyptian pounds per month, and a 25% boost in cash support for beneficiaries of the Takaful and Karama program. Additionally, farmers and vulnerable families will receive targeted assistance. The total cost of the package is estimated at 40 billion Egyptian pounds over the next 2 months, with wage increase alone costing 85 billion pounds in the next fiscal year. Minister of Petroleum Karim Badawi confirmed that the government is working on achieving the optimal energy mix and developing an energy strategy in collaboration with the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy. The aim is to increase the share of renewable energy in Egypt's energy mix to 42% by 2030. He pointed out that the resumption of production and exploration has led to significant increases in local production, resulting in savings of $1.5 billion every 6 months from the energy import bill starting from last January. The Suez Canal Economic Zone has signed a $3.3 million agreement to establish the United Trade Co. for Poultry Equipment project in production. The project is expected to generate 100 direct job opportunities. The industrial zone plays a crucial role in adding value to agricultural products, fostering agri-food manufacturing, and attracting investments through a well-developed infrastructure and competitive incentives. With this addition, the total investment in the industrial zone now stands at $514.3 million, solidifying its status as a prime destination for industrial and agricultural investments. The Suez Canal Economic Zone has signed an agreement for the first phase of the Orgullo knitting project, a $120 million investment aimed at establishing a fully integrated garment manufacturing facility. According to Walid Gamal-Eddin, chairman of the Suez Canal Economic Zone, the factory will span 100,000 square meters in the rapidly growing West Kontara Industrial Zone, creating 5,000 jobs and targeting an annual production capacity of 30 million garments. This factory will oversee the entire production process from spinning to final garment production, enhancing Egypt's position in the textile industry. The Suez Canal Economic Zone has signed a $5 million investment agreement with Indian company Ferrogenesis to establish a new metal industry plant in Wadi Al Technologia, located within the East Ismailia Industrial Zone, covering 35,000 square meters and expected to create 150 direct jobs. This initiative is one of the 3 planned projects by Volkov Infra Private Limited in the metal industry sector, with total anticipated investments reaching $65 million, spanning 72 square kilometers. Wadi Technologia is designed to leverage natural resources such as silica, sand to develop a high-tech industrial ecosystem. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we've been covering. Egypt condemns Israel's attacks on Syrian territories. Egypt welcomes Lebanese parliament's approval of government decision, sees it as a step towards restoring Lebanon's security and stability. And the Egyptian government unveils 200 billion Egyptian pounds social support package for citizens. That's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. Many thanks for watching.